Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Yellow Studio. We've got two of us here in the studio tonight. I'd like to introduce to you Brandon Pierce.
What's up?
And today we are speaking with a very well-known influencer in the blockchain industry. He's a prominent venture capitalist and token advisor, as well as the founder of Evercoin. It's my pleasure to welcome Miko Matsumura.
Hello, thanks very much.
I think Evercoin's a really cool blend between a wallet and an exchange. Can you please share with us what Evercoin is trying to achieve?
Evercoin is really trying to build all of the function and capability that you see in the exchange world, but we're trying to build it in the wallet context.
I was actually wondering something, and this is a little bit off topic, but a lot of people are talking about how they want coins to go to the moon, and I'm just wondering why we haven't aimed higher. Like, why don't we try to going to Mars, and then maybe we'll land on the moon and achieve everyone's goal?
We have. 2017 saw us going to the moon.
Yeah, I like that. I think China sent something to the moon, and I think Elon Musk wants to go to Mars. Yeah, exactly. It's funny, right? I mean, I think a lot of the memes that came out of the crypto industry, like going to the moon. I think Dogecoin was probably really into that moon theme. Lambos and all this kind of stuff. Like, in a way, the evolution of the space is more towards kind of mature financial institutions, and I think we'll see a shift in that direction. So, if you want to talk about the kind of blanket ambitions of the space, I definitely think we should continue to be very ambitious. From my perspective, the core of what's happening is what I call open source money. And, when you think about this, inevitably we're going to see internet money. We've passed the 10-year birthday of internet money. And, we continue to see that it holds many billions of dollars of value around the world. So, I think we succeeded on that count. And we'll probably continue to see more as we start to see more protocols and more technology development.
I understand you recently predicted that 2019 was going to be the year of the security token, and that a vast majority of utility tokens are going to fade into extinction. So what do you find so attractive about security tokens?
Security token represents a different asset class. And the thing that's fascinating about it is that when you look at security, the word security token actually it doesn't mean much, in the sense that, I live in the United States, and in the United States, the Securities and Exchange Commission, Chairman Jay Clayton said that, essentially most tokens that he's seen are securities, right? So really, in the view of the SEC, which is really the only view that matters, there really aren't anything other than security tokens. So, what do we mean when we say that? What we mean is we mean tokens backed by an asset. So asset-backed tokens are exciting. They certainly will add, trillions of dollars to the total net asset value of the crypto economy. So, they're a significant component of the emergent crypto economy. Now, I think there's a bit of a trick to the idea that almost all so-called utility tokens are going to become extinct. And the trick is that that's actually expected. And it's expected from the asset class, which is when you look at the utility token concept, the concept is really almost like classical venture capital investment. So when you study classical venture capital investment, what you realize that almost everything goes to zero, not eventually, but actually in a relatively quick amount of time. If you look at it from the perspective of a venture capital fund manager like myself, we're actually investing, in the utility coin thesis, so-called, because we're looking for very, very large returns. If you look at the so-called security token, most asset-backed tokens will not appreciate by 20x, 50x, 100x. So, you're not going to see a lot of moon coins, but what you will see is you'll see a very large, stable base of assets, and you'll see growth in the crypto economy as a function of these assets. And you'll see an increase in the stability of cryptographic assets. So, I would say, the so-called security token will add a lot of value. It may not add that much growth. So, when you look at it from a venture investor perspective, we like startups, we like growth, we like excitement, we like, really big unicorn creation.
So speaking of Lambos and unicorns and such, do you have any kind of indication what might be a utility token, what type of utility token or what specific utility token might gain revenue traction in 2019?
If you really look at this from a specific token perspective, and you look at this concept of attainment of traction, even people in the venture industry, they shouldn't be willing to hazard too much of a guess, right? To me, it's pretty clear when you think about the gestation period of tech companies that we will see significant revenue traction. The question becomes, who's it going to be, right? So to me, I would rather point out kind of promising sectors. And I think the promising sectors that I think where we'll see traction is in areas like financial services, traditional financial services. We'll also see things in the area of picks and shovels. So I would say infrastructure providers. We've already seen very large entities like Coinbase. We've seen very large exchanges form. So, those are already unicorns, and we'll see perhaps more growth in those areas. I would say thirdly, another area where we'll probably see some traction is in gaming. If you want to take a look at where I'm kind of placing my bets, you can go check out Gumi-Cryptos.com, so GUMI-Cryptos.com, or you can go to Miko.com, and I have all of my involvements posted there.
What do you think are some of the most important improvements that blockchain needs to move forward towards mass adoption?
Yeah, so blockchain improvements. So I think one of the things that's really interesting that I think everyone is kind of in a rousing consensus around is the combination of performance and acceptable levels of security. So that I think everyone's kind of pointing at that. I think that's a pretty clear, area of improvement. But to me, I'm much more interested in usability, right? So the thing that's interesting about performance and security is that at the moment, most projects are doing some kind of an arbitrage, right? So they're really trying to exchange. They're saying, okay, well, let's give up some security in order to get performance. Right. And when I say security, I'm really even talking about things like centralization, because, you can centralize things and get performance very easily. So one of the things that I think happens with crypto space is that, a lot of projects just centralize more. Right. So to me, that's not a very favorable solution, because, I think the biggest issue with our financial system is over centralization. So, in the cryptographic asset space, we need to provide a true alternative, which is more decentralized. So from that vantage point, I would say that, for me, the biggest problems that we have are usability problems. I think performance is less of an issue than usability, and usability has to do with things like applications and has to do with things like user interface. I mean, it's the reason why I find Evercoin so compelling, because Evercoin is working on, really improving usability with at the same time not abandoning core principles of cryptographic assets, including custody. So, they're your coins or in your wallet, it's your private key, and I think a lot of exchanges, most exchanges have essentially abandoned those principles. And so to me, I think that's usability is the big topic, I think.
Miko, you're going to be featured as a speaker at TokenomX in Bangkok this February. What are you looking forward to at TokenomX?
To me, I'm excited to connect with sort of local entrepreneurs and to kind of see the growth of fast-moving crypto economy and emerging crypto economy.
I know you attend a lot of conferences and events around the world. What do you try to achieve when you attend these conferences?
Well, I've got a couple of agenda items. I think my two biggest agenda items, one of them is to talk about exchange. So, being involved in Evercoin, I really try to push the whole theme of, what is it that an exchange needs to do? What does it need to be? And really help people understand how to serve themselves the best and work with the infrastructure providers that serve them better. So I think exchange is a big topic, and, giving evangelism for Evercoin and helping people understand why it's great. The second hat that I typically wear, though, is the investor hat. So one of my big agenda items is to find, entrepreneurs, find investment opportunities, look for, exciting companies. So that's another big agenda item for myself.
Well, you just might find some of those in Bangkok.
Yeah.
But so our audience can find you at Miko Java on Twitter. Where else can they stay in contact with you?
Yeah, Miko.com, Miko.com. That's my website. So feel free to jump on there. I'm on LinkedIn, Miko Matsumura. Obviously you can also Google. But yeah, those are great places to keep track of my doings.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. Do you have any final words that you'd like to share before we sign off?
TokenomX will be an exciting regional gathering place for the crypto economy of Thailand to assemble, and for world travelers and world crypto economists to come and really interconnect and join this fabric that is the world crypto economy.